What's going on, everybody, and welcome to your favorite podcast, Hustle Haven. We're your hosts, River the Realtor.
And I'm Taisha Renee.
And y'all, I feel real good being back in the studio today.
I feel good today.
I got the braids out, and I've been waiting on my moment.
It's giving Beyonce. Period.
Shout out to the girls, y'all, because this little closure been falling off all week, and they keep laying me back in. So I'm really excited. Today's the topic. I'm excited about this because I feel like this is something we all kind of start in, which is a team role. Today, we're going to be talking about how to just properly expand and how to like build your team correctly, even if, you know, it is the right time to do so. So we're going to
knowing when is the right time to do so.
Exactly. Yeah. So today we're going to really hop into like that team aspect and kind of hear from both of us who kind of had team experiences that were different. And then now I think growing our teams individually and just where we see it. So let's just kick it off. I think the first thing and the biggest thing is about when to actually start a team. I feel like this is a topic that people struggle with, and I think we got to talk about it.
Yeah, because I feel like you can sometimes start it too early, where it's like, did I need to hire these people? Or you can start it too late where like you're under and it's like you're overwhelmed and now you can't even properly train these people because now it's kind of like, they have to kind of jump in. So I think it's knowing that like, I guess median spot, I don't know if you can say the perfect spot, the perfect time, but it's really like, how do you even know? For real, I don't know.
And I think it's about differentiating because I'm not gonna lie, like every single time I have like more than 2 tasks, I'm like, I need help. And it's like, girl, you need to really manage your time properly. It's not necessarily because you need a team. And I think it's really kind of understanding one, where your business is currently, but then where is your business trying to go? Like, I think there's like the lesser of two evils because we have people who are like, I can do everything by myself. And they don't realize like, okay, babe, you gonna have to delegate or you gonna have to
Let me be honest. Let me be the first to say that's something that I struggle with. Delegating. Like as a business owner, as a team lead, I don't like assigning people to do things or wanting the help. I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't trust that you're gonna do it as well as I can do it.
That's exactly what
I don't know what it is, but me and giving off tasks is so hard for me to do. Like, you know, y'all be saying like, oh, I got a transaction coordinator. I have yet to get a transaction coordinator. And every time I do a deal, I'd be like, I probably should have had a transaction coordinator.
No, and it's so crazy because like I have literally tried a little bit of everything. And I think the only way that you can really figure out how to properly structure a team, if you even need one, is kind of figuring out what works. And I'm kind of like you. It's not necessarily I don't trust anybody, but it's just like I like things done a certain kind of way.
I don't want to be nitpicky, but I'm going to be nitpicky.
That's me. I'm like the Pythagorean theorem. Like it's just a method to my madness. And I feel like it has to be done this way or I'm not going to be satisfied with that. But I think, again, like overwhelming. Yeah. Like, when you get to that point where you literally feel like you cannot breathe, it's like, okay, let me figure out I don't really care how this is done as long as it's done.
Yeah, and that's when it gets messy. Yeah. I think at that point is when you kind of have to really look at your systems and really look at how you're tracking your business, like how you set these goals and you know that you want to reach whatever sales. If you're tracking each week and you see like, oh, like I'm getting to this number, I'm producing this, then that can kind of help you figure out like, okay, maybe now's the time because I see it is consistent, it's growing, it's building, I see where I am, and maybe now is the time where I need to start building that team because the inflow is coming, the overflow is coming.
The overflow
is
Forget
coming.
the inflow, we need the overflow. And I think that you mentioned systems. I think that's such a good thing. You have to have your systems in place before you start throwing a team. And I know Kiana is here. If y'all watching this, I'm probably laughing like, girl, I know you ain't talking about organized. I love y'all, first of all. But I feel like because I always preach the importance of systems because when I started my business, I didn't really have one. I say this all the time. I was not worried about a system. My system was make some money, figure it out.
Sale is closing.
And next thing I knew, like our business was overflowing so much that I'm like, whoa. I got to back up and build all these systems. And I'm honestly, even now, I'm still a little underwater. Yeah. So bringing on my team, it's just like we're working together to build a system. But I think if you have a system already, it's so much easier to come in, bring somebody and say, here's my system.
That's why it's important to at least start your systems process early.
You have to.
Regardless of how busy or not busy your business may be, start the systems early so that when it does become crazy, it's kind of like, okay, well, I know this flow. Let me bring someone in. You can take over this.
You cannot bring people into your chaos. Like, that's literally crazy.
I mean, you can, but they're going to hate it.
They're going to be like, girl, what is this? And that's literally me. Again, shout out to Sierra. Shout out to Kiana. They really keep me afloat. My business is like ran on this system, but the only person that knows the system is me.
You're right.
So they be like,
girl, what you want me to do?
How did you figure out this? And I'm like, girl, you got to do it. And they like, baby, write that down. And we can just automate this. So It is very just important, again, just to make sure you have something in place before you start bringing it on and figuring out, again, where it is you want to go.
Where is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think when people, if you don't have like a real long-term goal, like bringing on a team is crazy. You gonna hire all these people.
What are they here for?
And what are you taking them to?
I'm gonna say, how long are you gonna keep them? Like, what's their growth? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, you got to remember that once you hire people on your team, like their livelihood is essentially in your hands.
Right.
So it's like, imagine you bringing on a team of people and then it's like, oh, in 3 months, like, I don't want this anymore. Y'all are all fired. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That's insane. And you're going to get bad reviews.
You're going to get horrible
reviews. Because if I'm on
reviews.
that team, I'm leaving a review.
Yeah. So I think that before you employ all these people, before you build your team out, just be super intentional about what the end goal is, what it is you're trying to do for your business, and really take heed into that before you start bringing people on. They stop in their lives and their careers to help you expand. And your expansion plan does not exist.
Exactly. Make sure that you're tracking the success of your business, whether it's every day, every week, every month, so that you know where you are and where you're going.
Yeah. So I definitely want to hop into the pros and cons of it. Because I think a lot of people automatically assume like, oh, I got a team, everything's gonna be so much easier. And it's like, I don't think it's that. So what do you think some of the pros are in terms of like building a team?
I think the pros are just having the help. Because you can't run a business by yourself. Like, you can't do everything by yourself. And I'm saying that continuously because I'm talking to myself.
Yes.
You cannot do everything by yourself. Like, it's okay to say, hey, I need some help. This person is on my team. This is what you're, hired to do or scheduled to do, whatever the team looks like, whether it's you employing them, people do internships, whatever that looks like. I have this person in my corner to back me up. And not only are they backing me up, I'm also helping them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just hire people just to use them. You need to hire people so that while they're an asset to you, you're also an asset to them.
Equally yoked. And even if you are like, the superior in the situation or you're the higher up, you should still be equally yoked. Like, even though you're there to get the support from them, you should be pouring into them. When they leave you and go on to their next thing, they should be able to say, you know what? Thank you. Everything I learned, exactly. Everything I learned here is going to catapult me to the next. And I appreciate that. And that's going to build the infrastructure for you to have a great team, a great organization, a great business. So I definitely think a big pro is having that support. Again, shout out to my team. Like, I love you ladies so bad. And I think that's probably, I don't know, I think that's the biggest pro for me.
Yeah, I guess that's the most essential
Well, I'll say this, another one. I think having a team will allow you to also have a life.
That's true. Because let me tell you something. I don't know how many days I'm in the car like, oh my God, when I get home, I got to do this, I got to do this. Whereas I had somebody on my team, I could just like call you and help, and like you could do it for me.
And it's like the small stuff really is super time consuming, and we take that for granted.
And you don't know it until you're actually doing it. You may feel like, oh my God, I don't need nobody to do that. Like, that's easy. Like, I can get that done. But really and truly, like, oh my God, if I had someone to do this, I could have been here. I could have been at brunch. I could have been wherever.
Brunch is crazy. Like, brunch is crazy. I feel you. I do feel like this though. I feel like, okay, one thing for me in my business is like showings. If real estate agents, baby, we get behind the wheel of the car and that's what we do. It's Hellcats SRTs around here, okay? But the amount of time that I spend in a car, like even if I'm showing, let's say like something at Lennox and something at Atlantic Station, if it's the wrong time of day, just doing those two things and getting back to my house, that has eating up about 2.5 hours on my day.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Do you know how much work I can do in 2.5 hours?
You so even just perfecting your back end system. I could be doing so many things that you could be doing. Very much
something. I could be with my man. I could be doing anything.
Right.
But that's the point. I think like the small little things and people just being able to take those, like you can have some time back to really just have for yourself. And I think that's essential for us to show up as our best self.
And that is especially essential for people who have kids and are in relationships and all that stuff, because family time is essential.
Yeah, it has to go hand in hand. You're gonna lose your family trying to work, but
okay.
Don't get me started.
Are there cons? The only con I would see is like you're gonna have to like manage your finances because a team is not free.
Yeah, especially if you're an entrepreneur, remember that your money is already
already tight. So that's another expense that you are gonna have to add on to the books. But
if you have a bad month, you can't just say like, well, team.
Oh, right, I can't pay you.
There won't be any pay this month because the books were down. But next month, I got y'all.
We doubling it.
It's always like you have that financial responsibility. And so you have to make sure you properly budget. I feel like before you get a team, you have to make sure you have a pay structure in place and make sure it's very well written and well known. This is the pay structure. These are the expectations in regards to pay. Because again, no matter if your business is up or your business goes bankrupt, babe, you're going to have to to pay.
Yes, these people got bills. Their bills don't stop because you didn't sell some sweaters this week. Like, it don't matter.
Maybe you gotta get outside with them boys.
You know what I think could be a con, but it could also be a pro and a con. It's like when you hire people that you know.
Okay, let's get into that.
When you hire your cousin or you hire your best friend and you start mixing that business with personal,
it gets messy.
It could be a pro or it could be a con. Because it could be a pro because if you hire someone like me, okay, I'm giving 110 in everything I do. I don't care if it's my mother's business. I don't care who business it is. It's just like something in me has to do my best. But
that's just who you are at your core, though.
That's who I am at the core. Like, I just have to give it my all. But you have some people who are like, oh, that's my cousin. I'll do that whenever I get the chance. Or like, oh, she don't need it right now. She'll understand. Like, when you get into that, and it's kind of like you have to have those tough conversations. And you got to tell cousin Mimi, sis, I got to fire you.
Mimi, you going to have to CC me outside. Okay, babe? You're fired.
And now the relationship is a little weird. So I think that could be both a pro and a con when you start bringing in your family and your friends. But you know your cousins.
You knew your cousin before you hired them, so it's really your bad.
Yeah.
I think for me, though, because anybody that knows me, I work with a few of my family members. I think the one pro for me has always been, again, I'm on top of just me being who I am, I'm really an acquired taste. Like, I say this all the time, but people either like, wow, that River girl, I love her. They like, wow.
I can stand
I hate that that dang girl. I'm so sorry. They be like, I hate that girl. And so because of that, I feel like working with my family or my friends or just people who know me and familiar with how I am, I'm the way I am in my business the same way I am in real life.
Yeah.
I'm on point. I don't play around. I move with we gonna get it done. But then we're gonna have a good time after. So I feel like people who already know you personally will already know what you expect in your business. And that kind of helps you be able to be a little more trusting. The con, though, I just got to reemphasize what you said. Baby, stop playing with me, okay? Like, you already knew, and it's like they think they can kind of get over on you, and they think that the personal relationship is always going to supersede the work relationship. And it's like, I love my family, I love my friends, but business is business. Love don't pay these bills, baby.
Period.
Selling these houses is what pay these bills.
Say that. Love don't pay the bills.
Shout out to mama. Love don't pay the bills, and so I feel like that's the eerie part about it, because you don't want to ruin a family relationship or like a close friendship relationship. But it's also like, at what point do I have to put my foot down and be like, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes they work out. I've seen like a lot of successful people are like, oh, like my assistant is my best friend. Like, they have these relationships. But then you got some people I've seen when they get on TikTok, like, oh, I used to work for my cousin and she's terrible. Yeah. And it's kind of like, okay, well, and also, that's the con.
I think that's one thing that I definitely want to talk about, because this is something that's really, really hard for me. I'm the same way in business as I am with like my homegirls.
And I feel like I'm a little different because I'm like super sweet. I'm super friendly. You probably think I'm super gentle. But when it comes to the business...
Who thinks that?
Get it together.
Raise your hand if y'all think Taisha is gentle.
You don't think I'm gentle?
We'll take a poll.
Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. I'm not sweet.
No,
I think I'm sweet and gentle and nice.
Okay.
Until you kind of take me there. Then I'm like,
right. Somebody is clearly always taking you there. Anyway. But no, I feel that. I do feel like the bigger thing is just like, you want to build these relationships, right? I am the same way I am in business as I am in my personal life. Like, I'm stern, but I'm also fun. Like, I'm straight to the point, but I'm also like loving and kind. And so I can't help but build those close-knit relationships with people I work with. And that sometimes I feel like blurs the line. And I've had a couple incidents in the past where it's like, the person I hire comes on and they going hard. I'm talking about fighting for their life. And then we start kicking it and vibing, and now you feel like,
oh, this my girl.
Oh, this my homegirl. We the same age. We got the same homegirl. Oh, girl, by the way, I'm not coming to work tomorrow.
Said who? Who said that?
Okay. Oh, girl, I'm hungover from yesterday. Me too. Now come to work. Because it's like that kind of thing. So I think it's very muddy waters when you're hiring a team. And I do feel like, for me, the best situation so far have been people who have either come to me and say, you know what, I would love the opportunity to work for you. I would love the opportunity to learn from you, because I feel like they come in with a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. Or people who I just meet on the fly. Yeah. Like, just met out of nowhere, and they just come in because they don't know me, and then they just come and work as their best self. So I don't know. It's a no for me on the family and friends. Sorry,
I'll let you guys know when I get there. When I start trusting and hiring,
okay,
I'll let you know.
What do you think is like really preventing you from like starting your team and starting that whole...
I'm just stubborn, and I'm also just... cheap.
Cheap is crazy. Cheap is crazy.
I want all my money to go to me.
I do
not want all my... I don't want it. I don't feel like I'm at the place where I need to like be paying and all this good stuff yet. Even though like when I'm in it, I'm like, dang, Taisha, you should have But when it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it's calm and you're like, okay, I don't need help. And then when it's crazy, and I'm on here preaching, but I feel like I'm going to get to that point of like, I'm underwater and then I'm going to be like, I need a team.
No, I think it's
so essential. I'm going to re-listen to this episode like when it's over and I'm going to tell myself like, Taisha, just get the team. You know you need it.
I make this comment when we talk about like splits in real estate, and I always say like 70-30 sounds good, but 70-30 only sucks when like you get your 100% check and somebody asks me for 30% and they did absolutely nothing to help you get the 70%.
Right. So for people who don't know what real estate and how we get paid, so we get paid off of commission, and we have a certain percentage that goes to us and a certain percentage who goes to if you're on the team, your brokerage, etc. So 30% will go to them and then you'll get the 70%.
Right. And I feel like the concept behind that is that it's okay to give somebody a portion of your money if they've done all these things, provided all these resources.
If they're bringing me the value.
If they're helping me get the 70%. But imagine me finding my client, vetting my client, sourcing my client, showing my client, writing up the contract, going through the motions, arguing with her mama, getting in the crawl space. And then I never even seen this lady. And then the check comes, she like, well, my 30%.
I'm like,
girl, are you crazy?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same thing with the team. Like, I don't be wanting to pay nobody, and I do be wanting to keep it for myself. But I think that when I think about all the hard work and how much they've put in for me to get those checks, I can't wait to pay them out.
Yeah.
And it's more of a fulfilling experience.
That's the point. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be even at that point where I want to give you stuff to do. Like, even if you on my team, like, can I give it to them? I just need to be more trusting and release and just do it. I'm just so like, I need it done like this. I'm so particular. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like
it's ridiculous.
I've done my grunt work and I'm ready for my time. I'm ready to reap the fruits of my labor. I feel like I'm there, and I feel like the only way you can do that is by implementing this team structure and having a really successful team to back you up.
I'm aligned.
Just kind of go with that.
I'm aligned. I'm gonna start practicing when I preach.
You should, Taisha. Be that sweet, nice girl that you're preaching to everybody.
And I can't believe, but I'm gonna handle that after this episode. I can't believe you said that about me.
Yes, you can. So, in conclusion, y'all, just to wrap up, I really do feel like a team structure, especially like when you're in your business, it's something important, it's something to think about. But the bigger thing is just understanding and knowing what the trajectory of your business is gonna look like, what the role it is that they're gonna play, and really outlining, what the expectations are and where it is that you guys are going in the future. Because having a really solid team is gonna help you have a really, really solid business in the long run.
Right, and ensuring that the people that you bring on your team are going to be assets to you, but also that you're going to be an asset to them.
We a team.
Because we're not wasting time. We are. We're assets.
I love that.
And
I love you.
Because, hey, I
love you. I'm dead. Well, thank you guys, as usual, for tuning in to another episode of Hustle Haven. We will see y'all next time. And period. Stay on y'all pivots.